The Philadelphia Eagles just pulled back the curtain on an entirely new offensive identity, and what went down on the field changes everything we thought we knew about this season. If you believe this team was running back the same old predictable playbook, the final stretch of training camp proved that the blueprint in Philadelphia has been completely flipped upside down. Between jaw-dropping personnel wrinkles, a fierce defensive performance, and an emotional revelation that puts everything into perspective, this was easily the most revealing week of football the city has seen all year. Make sure to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to stay locked in with daily, in-depth Eagles coverage all season long. For years, the biggest frustration surrounding this organization was how static, rigid, and predictable the offensive scheme felt in high-stakes moments. Every single fan knew the script: sideline hit routes, isolation balls, zero rhythm across the middle of the field, and an over-reliance on pure individual talent to bail out broken plays. But what we just witnessed during open public practice in front of over 45,000 screaming fans at Lincoln Financial Field proved that new offensive coordinator Sean Mannion is building something genuinely dangerous. Mannion is attacking defenses with real motion, misdirection, and spacing that makes you wonder why Philadelphia didn't modernize this playbook seasons ago. Can you imagine how terrifying this group will be if they actually execute these passing concepts at full speed? That question was answered on the very first drive when Devonta Smith made his presence felt after missing time with a hamstring tweak. Watching Smith glide across the turf on deep-out routes and snag intermediate lasers off play-action rollouts was a massive sigh of relief. He is playing with the sharpness of a bona fide top 10 wide receiver in this league. And when he is firing on all cylinders, the entire dynamic of the field shifts. Yet, as exciting as Smith looks, the single biggest schematic evolution comes down to how Saquon Barkley is being utilized. We have heard rumors all spring about unlocking Barkley as a legitimate pass-catching weapon, but seeing it drawn up against the starting defense was pure poetry. On one red zone rep, Barkley lined up in the backfield, exploded on a designed corner route toward the pylon, and pulled down a pinpoint pass from Jalen right over tight coverage. This was not a lazy check down or a desperate dump-off into the flat. It was an explosive, downfield route concept designed to exploit linebackers in space. When you add first-round rookie Makai Lemon into the equation, the puzzle pieces become even more fascinating. Lemon is already healthy and getting worked into specialized packages, including reps where he motions straight into the backfield. During one sequence, the defense completely froze as Lemon flared out on a wheel route from the tailback spot, streaking untouched into the end zone for his first signature touchdown in midnight green. That level of creativity forces defensive coordinators to make impossible decisions before the snap. Between Lemon being manufactured touches on quick crossers and screens, and young guys like Darius Cooper pushing for early playing time after an electric summer, this wide receiver room possesses an unreal amount of speed. That brings us directly to our question of the day. With Sean Mannion featuring the running backs as true downfield receivers, how many receiving yards and receiving touchdowns will Saquon Barkley finish with this year? Drop your exact stat predictions in the comments below, because I want to see where everyone stands. Of course, the moment Jalen threw a couple of interceptions during 11-on-11 drills, the local media panic button was pressed immediately. Hurts finished the public session 18-29 with 3 touchdowns and 2 picks, leading certain analysts to claim the team needs to dial back the aggression and return to conservative football. That narrative is completely absurd. If you spend 3 years demanding your quarterback attack the middle of the field and test tighter windows, you cannot turn around and lose your mind when growing pains happen in late August practice. This is the exact setting where a quarterback needs to push boundaries, test coverage leverage, and figure out what windows are open. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio said it best himself. Practice is where you take chances to see what is possible, and having the defense challenge the offense only sharpens both sides of the ball. Hurts looked poised, dialed in, and firmly in command of the system throughout the lighter wrap-up sessions, hitting Devonta Smith on a picturesque toe-tap score in the back of the end zone. The chemistry between the two remains untouchable. and the offense is right on track heading into the regular season. Much of the credit for those turnovers belongs to Tariq Woolen, who walked away as the undisputed defensive standout. Woolen showed elite recovery speed and anticipation, undercutting a throw meant for Lemon before jumping an out route to Smith for a walk-in pick six. Woolen broke on the ball before Hurts even completed his throwing motion, demonstrating the kind of field vision that could make him the team leader in interceptions this fall. Playing opposite Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, Woolen knows he's going to see plenty of targets, and if he continues to bait quarterbacks like this, the Philadelphia secondary is going to generate game-changing takeaways. Up front, the defensive line brought relentless energy as well. Nolan Smith flashed incredible explosion off the edge, knifing inside All-Pro tackle Lane Johnson for a clean practice sack that reminded everyone why his development is critical this year. Jalen Hunt also terrorized the pocket during team periods, giving reserve tackles pure nightmares and proving that the pass rush has exceptional young depth behind the veterans. On the injury front, the news is remarkably stable. While Lane Johnson stepped out early on Tuesday and Jordan Davis briefly checked out with an elbow issue, both returned to action without any injury designations for the subsequent session. Cam Jurgens confirmed his body feels significantly healthier than it did at this point last year, and Landon Dickerson is fully refreshed after a routine maintenance day. The only real lingering dark cloud remains Jonathan Greenid, who was unable to participate throughout camp, making his availability for the regular season opener something to keep a very close eye on. With the preseason finale underway and roster cut-down day rapidly approaching, the front office faces tough decisions across the board. Tanner McKee has put together a commanding push for the backup quarterback role over veteran Andy Dalton, while the safety battle between Marcus Epps and Michael Carter remains neck and neck. Add in tough roster math around dynamic depth pieces like Dontavian Wicks, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Elijah Moore, and Carson Steele, and Howie Roseman will have his hands full finalizing the 53-man unit. Beyond the schemes, roster cuts, and playbook installations, this week provided a poignant reminder of the human reality behind the game. Former Eagles edge rusher Zadarius Smith recently opened up about his sudden retirement last season, revealing the devastating truth that he stepped away after receiving a call from his mother's doctor stating she had very little time left to live. In a heartbreaking span of grief, he lost his mother, his grandmother, and his father, forcing him to step away from football entirely to be with his family during an unimaginable trial. Now finding healing and returning to the field with the Atlanta Falcons, Smith's story is a powerful testament to the unseen battles players fight every single day away from the cameras. As the chapter officially closes on training camp, the foundation for this season has been set. The defense is flying to the football, the locker room is unified, and the offense is finally armed with the creativity, speed, and versatility required to dominate. This team has shown us the blueprint. Now, it is time to unleash it when the games truly count.